So I was in my local bookshop and I was looking around at the coffee table books, and someone had written a book about playing a new golf course every single day for a year and the lessons it taught them. Which got me to think, what do you think is the record for the most courses, individual courses played in a single year?
Oh, wow. I'm assuming they're only doing one a day, and this is unique.
Yeah. No, no,
We
they
need
can do
some.
more than one a day.
I guess they could. I don't know. That seems aggressive. I'm going to say 300.
Okay. No. So golf is probably the only sport insane enough to produce this sentence. The Guinness Book of World Records for the most different 18-hole golf courses played in a single year is 449. A husband and wife duo, Jonathan and Kathy Weaver, did it from across Canada into the US within 365 days.
I want to see the final bill.
A local municipal golf course says it's been overrun by what some are calling, quote, hack golfers.
Has the game grown too much? Do we need more scratch golfers?
I'm telling you, hacks slow the game down. You can't grow golf if people are chunking it into the weeds all day.
Scratch player?
Hey, everybody, it's Dez, and welcome back to the Hack and Scratch podcast, episode number 14. Well, this wasn't a quiet week for drama, that's for sure. How do you think it went, Casey?
Lots of stuff going on for sure. The post-Masters kind of blues that we all feel. But, not for a lot of the players on the PGA Tour and these other tours now. Like, they just got to keep on moving. So, a lot happening this week.
Yeah, you definitely got to feel good if you're one of the people that kind of stuck it out, stayed on the PGA Tour. Although, despite maybe LIV ending early, people are walking away with some serious big paychecks. I saw Taylor Gooch's career earnings on LIV. I do not like that guy and his attitude, but man, did he make the right financial decision for himself.
Yeah. Do you know how much he ended up with at the end?
Yeah,
there?
it was like 30 some million, which for Taylor Gooch, that probably wasn't going to be the outcome on PGA. So, we'll see what the repercussions are. Like I was saying earlier, I can't wait to see the scramble that it is to get back onto the PGA Tour next year. But for right now, let's keep it focused on the PGA. We had the RBC Heritage, the Forgotten Jacket this week. Matt Fitzpatrick walks away with it yet again. Two-time winner of the RBC Heritage. And not only does he do it again, but he outduels Scheffler in yet again another playoff. So he's won two of these. Both have come into playoff. Pretty entertaining stuff. What'd you think?
Yeah, I think it's funny to win the same tournament twice via playoff. I was watching the back nine today, and it was tough to see him kind of, flub that chip on 18 where he probably pretty easily could have gotten it up and down if he just got it within 10 feet or so. But overall, he kind of had a commanding lead throughout the week. Matt Fitzpatrick, of course, living up to his expectations. He's one of the top golfers now and has been for a while. So not surprised that he pulled it off. But also now we can say that he edged out Scottie Scheffler there. It's a lot of players can't do that when they're paired with Scottie in the final round, even though he had a bit of a lead. Scottie can surge at any time. So, props to Fitzpatrick for pulling it off.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a hard thing to do, let alone against a person like Scottie who's chasing you down and who did eventually catch him. Obviously, it went to a playoff, but again, great on Fitzpatrick to kind of regain, composure and hit just one hell of a shot on that playoff hole. A 4-iron in from, I think it was like 250 something to about 12 feet from the hole and to make the putt. Unbelievable stuff. While it wasn't the headlines, you got a couple of great chasers this week, right at 16 under, so not too far behind. You had Siwoo Kim with another great finish this year. You had your boy Colin Morikawa, which, man, that guy should just keep playing injured.
Seriously.
It seems to be the recipe for him. He did great at the Masters unsuspectingly, and then comes back and I think he T5'd, maybe T3 actually to finish his tournament. And then Harris English tied at 13 under for fourth. So maybe it was for fourth. But nonetheless, incredible performance out of those three.
Yeah, it's nice to see these guys who I feel like we pick most weeks are doing well. And Yeah, I'm surprised that Colin even played this week, considering he probably isn't feeling his best. So I don't think he's playing next week. So hopefully that'll give him some good rest and kind of figure out what's going on with the body. But yeah, props to him. I'd love to see him playing good golf.
Absolutely. Well, we move on from Harbor Town and we head to LIV Mexico, which was the ground zero of a lot of interesting news coming out in the golf space this week. I guess first we'll round off the tournament, even though that's probably the least of the buzz. But LIV Mexico was won by Rom. The storyline of the person who didn't win the tournament and who actually ended up withdrawing was Mr. Bryson DeChambeau. Did you
Was there a reason for that
catch
withdrawal?
wrist injury?
Wrist.
Yes.
Okay.
Must have been that destroyed grass. Hitting on that destroyed grass must have really hurt his wrist.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious. As a better player than most, I am curious your take, right? I'm sure you did see the grass and the conditions. Was Bryson out of line or was he totally justified?
You know, I need to watch the clip again. Did he say anything specific that I might have missed?
So yes, there is a very well spread video of him hitting past the green and then being in this area, which is more than patchy. Okay, there's dirt mixed in with the grass, clumps of it, and just kind of just hard packed. And I don't, he's having a rough week after his crash out at the Masters, so let's give him that. But he wanted a ruling, which even I know, I don't know what ruling you're going to expect to get if the
It's
grass
just
is
sitting
not
in the
under
dirt.
repair. Yeah, it's not ground under repair. It's not anything like that. It's just bad quality grass. And
Play it as it
so-
lies.
Yes, he was livid. And so they got him documented saying a few things to the rules official, to his caddy that were less than stellar. And yeah, he's complaining all week about the conditions of the course. And then on Sunday withdrew due to wrist injury. So
And I see this from two angles. It's very possible he could have hit his wrist because the condition that it was in, you don't know if there maybe is a root underneath where you're hitting, but that could also be the case if it was fully lush with green grass. It's possible. That said, on like the ruling side and the patchiness, I don't really have much sympathy there. We all have played that before. Those players have played that before, and you're still in the
Bryson, out of
trees.
anyone has played that recently. All of his YouTube channels
He had a YouTube
aren't
video.
always on perfect conditions.
Yeah.
He's definitely played the most on rough surfaces. So
Right. And I think it's one of those things that I think most golfers would agree. Maybe professionals think differently. I don't know. Of like, hey, this is golf. This is just a fact of golf. You're not going to play at Augusta National every weekend, And I don't know. Got to play it as it lies. That's how it goes. Yes, maybe they should move it, but that's all you get.
But the biggest headline, bar none, this week was the rumor mill that turned into quite factual that the LIV Tour is shutting down. Now, early on when the news broke in the week, it was concerned that the LIV Tour was shutting down effectively that moment. I think there were some rumors that lights had gone out, electricity bills had not been paid at the LIV facilities, etc. What it ended up being was just a little bit of coincidence thrown in, but the LIV Tour looks to be fully funded for the rest of the 2026 season. So they will at least finish this season out. But the future of LIV in 2027 and beyond seems very much in question, if not most certainly going to end.
Yeah. And I mean, we were texting back and forth a little bit about this, and it was kind of one of those moments thinking back a few years ago when you wake up and PGA Tour announces a partnership with LIV and you're like, what is going on? And that's kind of the craziness to this whole LIV story. But I think if I had to speculate, what's happening is, hey, we gave this a shot for a few years. It's not hitting in the way that we thought it would. And now that people like Brooks, like Patrick Reed, like other folks are trying to get back onto the PGA Tour, I think you're going to see a lot of people try to get out as soon as possible, knowing that they may not have a job come next season. So I think a lot of guys are like, shoot, I need to go and prep for Q School in the fall and see how it goes. Like, this is just going to be, people are going to have to make some decisions on where they're going to put their energy. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but it's not totally surprising. I think the writing's been on the wall for a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I think this could be the end. I don't know if they're going to continue after this, but we'll see.
Yeah, they would have to find someone to actually pick up the sponsorship of the LIV Tour. The Public Investment Fund, the PIF from Saudi Arabia, could sell the tour to someone who wanted to keep funding it. I highly doubt that they do that, since they've kind of proven it's not necessarily a financial winner, and cost a ton. Right, these players are being paid. That's why they came over. A lot of them want to go back. I think it's a good thing for golf. All around, great day for golf. I think this will prevent other rival tours from starting in the future. I hope what it doesn't do is allow the PGA Tour to remain stagnant. I think they've done a lot of cool things in
Yes.
response to LIV starting, that I hope they continue to build on. But nonetheless, very excited to have the top talent in the world most likely come back to a single tour. And I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm with you. Totally agree.
All right. Well, we switched to the medium of YouTube. And as we always do each week, go through the latest and greatest in the YouTube releases from top channels. Bob Does Sports actually put out 2 videos this week, one early on, one recently. We'll start off with the Hater series. Did you catch this one at all?
I did catch a bit of it, and you feel for Cutsy at times, and then there's other times where I'm like, come on, man, you got this. But I just don't think he could handle the pressure for this one, and he was just a bit all over the place.
I know it's part of his persona, but you invite a hater on, what you're getting. You're intentionally inviting, someone who is been rude in the comments, not a very good person, for lack of a word, an asshole. And sometimes he always expects it to be like an honorable match where there's like no shit talking or anything like that, or like he's upset when the guy's trolling him. Like, this is like the purpose of bringing this guy on. If he doesn't do this, then it's just a match with a fan, which is fine, but it's not the intention of the series. So it always bothers me how Cutsy reacts to it.
Yeah.
Again, he loses. He loses to I think the guy said he was like maybe a 10 handicap. I mean, could have been a 22 handicap by all means.
I don't think that's a 10.
It was crazy. Just, it puts Cutsy at 2-2 in this series, but it's just not making him look good. And I think overall, we'll talk about 4Play's Hater series as well. I get that the content performs well from an analytics standpoint, but truly, I found myself, who loves the Bob Does Sports brand, like questioning a little bit, do I like Cutsy because of this? And it's like, man, you don't want to hurt the brand. You don't want to hurt the image of your people, but it's weird. I can deal with Cutsy playing bad, the stroke challenge, the 242 stroke challenge, which we'll get to, but him acting just like an asshole himself is not good for the brand. So it's a tough watch. I don't know, but
yeah. So what do they do about that?
Stop the series, maybe. I don't know, but it is tough. It performs so well from a content standpoint, and Bob has always been like, "Hey, bad golf really sells on our channel," and he's embraced it. And I don't care. It could be bad golf, but man, sometimes Cutsy is just such the villain in these hater series, which he really shouldn't be.
Yeah.
The hater Moose was a total troll, just saying the dumbest stuff ever, but I kind of felt myself liking it just because it is what it's supposed to be. So, and it's been a popular theme amongst all these hater series. So I guess we'll skip to the other hater series since we're on it. But it was 4Play's Riggs versus another Doug. He's played 2 Dougs out of his hater series. This one, man. So apparently he was a 10. And Riggs said he wouldn't play him unless he was an 8, which is already just
what?
Yeah. So he supposedly got down to an 8. Okay, but definitely did not. Supposedly got down to an 8, and then they played. And they, I think, shot collectively an 88 and an 87. So nowhere near Riggs's supposed 7 handicap and his 8 handicap. But it was a rough 88 and a rough 87. That's with giving putts. So It was a tough watch. I don't know. What'd you think?
Yeah, so by that calculation, it could have been even more. Probably was if you're not given putts. This one bothered me more than the Bob Does Sports one, and here's why. And maybe this is going to be seen as pretentious, but that's okay. Because as a golfer, they did a few things that really bothered me. And all of it happened on 18, weirdly enough, which they probably happened earlier in the round too. But they both hit just these short runners off of 18 and just acted like, oh, yeah, all right. That's fine. I'm like, what? These guys are supposedly 7 and 8 handicaps and they're both almost topping it off the tee? Come on. So that was whatever. And then it was either on Doug's second or third shot where I think he dumped it into the bunker and said, well, that's a win for Riggs. Just giving it up in the middle of the fairway. You don't do that. Like you're competing. You don't just give up when you're halfway through the hole. That made me so mad because if I had ever done that when I was a kid playing with my coach, would be like, all right, go sit in the clubhouse then. You're done. Like if you don't want to play golf, don't play golf.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That really bothered me. And then the last one is that right after that, Riggs had like probably a 2 or 3 footer to win the match. And Doug just said, yeah, that's good. What? Even if it is good, you're finishing the match. Just put out at least the last putt. Like, come on. And that just drove me crazy. Like that guy gave it to him at the end.
So here's the problem with this one. Doug was definitely not a hater. He was baiting to get into the match. Like he begged to play it. He was not a hater. Once he got there, he was trying to be nice to Riggs and everything. So that's another part is they need to do a better job filtering who's just trying to get around with one of the best, followed YouTube channels in golf versus who actually has a little bit of hater to him. So yeah, you could clearly tell early on Doug did not want to play the role of the villain.
No. Well, and that's what was funny at the end. Like they're standing on the green and he was like, I thought you were a mean dude, but I kind of see you're fine now. And like, I think Riggs kind of conceded that as well. And I'm like, okay, like good for them that they realize, oh, okay, no, we're not both just assholes, even though they probably are a little bit. But yeah, you kind of tank the whole point of the series if then we're friends at the end.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that leaves us to the other Bob Does Sports video, which was a stroke challenge. So Cutsy, FP, and Bob all go for 242 strokes across the 3 of them. It's getting really bad for Cutsy. Started off, I think, hole 2 with a 10. Yeah. And it didn't get a whole lot better. I mean, obviously it was better than a 10, but it didn't get a whole lot better throughout. He just kind of was grinding it along, which is funny because Bob had his best round he's ever played in his entire life, which is crazy going back to what we were talking about with how Tong Lee and Scottie Scheffler last week, which is you can't play your best golf when the other person next to you is not. Bob proved us wrong.
Yeah.
Bob played his best round ever, shot an 80, had a putt to break 80, had a really good look at it, just didn't quite putt it and should have taken a little bit more out of the break, but just comes up one short of breaking 80, gets 80 on the dot. That put Cutsy, I think, well into the 90s, if we're not mistaken. It is really, really tough watch. They actually had a chance to break 242 on the last hole. They needed Cutsy to get up and down from the bunker, and they both had to make their eagle putts, which obviously didn't happen, but there was a chance. Instead, Cutsy just puts it 20 yards past the green into basically an unplayable area. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you fix this. It's a tough one when one guy is struggling so bad and it doesn't seem to be getting better.
Maybe the next video is just like a 1-hour range session and we just watch them practice.
Like a fixing Cutsy?
Yeah.
Like
what do you think?
We get like Ledbetter in there. We get
exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
We get Butch Harmon to come in.
Yes. Hey, if they can get LeBron James, they can get Butch Harmon or David Ledbetter out there on the course to give him a few pointers,
I like
get Michael Block out there, There's so many people that we could pull.
I like this a lot because then it's so relatable. The golfers who are bad like me are seeing this guy who's definitely playing probably as bad as me get fixed. And then we all believe that we can do it. That's perfect. I love that.
Let's pitch that because I think that would do very well.
Let's pitch that. All right, we got one more in YouTube before we move on. It was some really high quality golf. It was out of the Brian Bros, Grant Horvat, and the Lads channel, which is run by Jason Day. But it's a 2-man pro game. It's a 3-part series. This is their second part. They're playing the first 9 of TPC Sawgrass. I'll just skip to the chase. The Grant and Ruffles group is just destroying. They're at 10 under over the course of the first 18 plus 9 holes. And then the group of Jason Day and Bats is 7 under, so they're close behind. And then it's Evans and Wesley Brian at 4 under. So they're kind of out of it, if I'm not mistaken. And they got 9 holes left to play, back half of TPC Sawgrass, which obviously plays quite hard.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But it's a great series. They're playing some great golf. Grant Horvat, man, he really can stripe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing some really high quality golf. So, but it's pretty good. It's a good watch. I'm excited to see the final and third leg. All right. Well, let's move into some professional golf. We got the Zurich Classic coming up, which is the PGA's only team event now, comprised of 82 men teams compete together, not as individuals.
Yeah, this is a great event. I mean, I think it kind of takes the pressure off of kind of the major season for a little bit. You know, it allows people to take a step back from something as intense as the Masters and have a little bit more fun, maybe get a little bit of experience for a President's Cup or a Ryder Cup, you know, learning to play on a team like that. I like watching these tournaments. They're more relaxed. It seems like it's more of a fun watch. And then you get to see like really good scores because, you know, they're playing best ball or whatever. So it's a fun one.
Yeah. So the first round is 4-ball, and obviously the lowest score on the hole per partnership counts. The second round is foursomes alternate shot, so it's alternate shot between your group. Round 3 is a back to 4-ball, and round 4 is back to alternate shot. So it kind of goes back and forth between the two different formats. Makes for some great entertainment. Honestly, we've seen some really high quality golf come out. This kind of kicked off, I would say, Ben Griffin's like run from last year, which ultimately led him to getting a spot at the Ryder Cup. So yeah, it's, you know, looked at as kind of a side event within the PGA Tour season. But honestly, it's a great way to reset. I think you've seen over the years Shane and Rory play together. And, you know, Shane's gotten some really good boosts just playing with his friend Rory, doing really well together. It can be a really good kind of reset. And then honestly, the storylines that come out of this with the pairings are so good. You see some fantastic matchups. You see brothers play with each other. I remember Brooks trying to get his brother, I think Blake Koepka, on tour.
Chase.
Chase. If you won it, you got him on tour, which is crazy.
Yeah,
but we have
that
some
is pretty
interesting
crazy.
So we wrote down some interesting groups here in lieu of telling you who we're going to bet on this week. We can talk about some interesting groups. First one out of the gate, we've said both these names so far, Shane Lowry and Brooks Koepka. Wow. What a wild pairing that is.
Yeah, I love it though. For something about it sounds so fun. And I feel like Brooks, having been back on the tour for what, like 6 months now almost?
Yeah.
This is maybe gives him a little bit of breathing room just to be able to kind of enjoy something a little bit more, maybe to make him feel a little bit more comfortable. And like, how fun would it be to play with Shane Lowry? I mean, come on. And yeah, I just think this is a great group. I'm looking forward to watching them.
It's so funny. Like, I think just my perception of Shane over the past years with the Ryder Cup and his connection with Rory, I feel like he's such a European nationalist. So it's like, how dare he play with someone who's so American alpha like Brooks Koepka?
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make sense for me on that standpoint. But I actually think those two personalities being alphas in their kind of own same respect, I think it's going to be pretty funny. I hope they do well, because if they are doing well, I will be sat on my couch Sunday watching this go down. And the fist pumps, the maybe chest bumps between those two, it'll be pretty good and entertaining come Sunday if they're in contention.
Yeah. How do you think the conversation started with them pairing up?
So I'm assuming it had to be obviously because Rory probably said, I'm out this year, Shane. They've played in the years past, but yeah, so it had to start there. And I wouldn't assume Brooks would like reach out to to Shane, that would be weird. So I would assume Shane had to pick up the phone and call Brooks and say, hey, you want to do this?
I have a feeling we're going to hear an interview about it this week too, which
I
will be
hope
good.
so, man.
Yeah.
You're right. That is the question, is how did this come together?
Yeah.
Well, a pairing that we know exactly how it came together is the brother-brother pairing of Matt Fitzpatrick, recent tour winner, and Alex Fitzpatrick, also a recent tour winner, albeit the DP World Tour. It's the first time these two have ever been paired up with coming from same season wins, playing the best form they've ever had, and usually they're in contention, regardless of their form. Usually they play really well together. Back in the day, Matt Fitzpatrick was trying to get Alex Fitzpatrick into the tour through that exemption, but still would be incredible. I think Alex Fitzpatrick is like up to, I have to look it up, but I think he's top at least 120 in the world right now with his win. So this would do a lot for his world ranking if he can get a win with his brother, who's playing some phenomenal golf.
Yeah, both of them together, probably the most dangerous this week for sure. I hope they do well too. Alex Fitzpatrick, we've seen him in full swing as well. Seems just like a great dude, and I would love to see him get out on the PGA Tour as well.
Yeah. This next three groupings, maybe we'll say who we think out of these three groupings will do the best, because they're all in the same kind of category. So all these three groupings have young golfers, talented golfers, winning golfers. They're great. So it's Nick Dunlap and Gordon Sargent. Future Stars team could be some of the great golfers in the next 5-10 years. Michael Thorbjornsen, who's been hot this season. Carl Phillips, who hasn't been as hot but has already won previously. So huge. And then we got Luke Clanton and Blades Brown.
So good.
So
like
good.
All of these pairings are great. I mean, Gordon Sargent, one of the top amateurs this past year, has had kind of a slow start on the PGA Tour, but probably getting to play with somebody kind of at his, I don't want to say level, but maybe in the same kind of life stage of the PGA Tour will be fun for them. But overall, I think Luke Clanton, Blades Brown, like these guys are just going to be slinging. And they're going to be the most fun to watch, I think, out of those three.
Yeah. If I were a betting man, I think, man,
And
it's
you are.
hard. You throw Blades Brown in the mix. That's actually, I mean, that could be dangerous. My mind goes to it's free money with Michael Thorbjornsen and Carl Phillips. Those two are great. They've been playing great. But man, Luke Clanton and Blades Brown might be the best bet right there.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that's gonna be fascinating. I can't wait to see it. So again, great job doing great pairings, taking an event that's not seemingly the focus of the tour and making it very entertaining. I can't wait to watch it, actually.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one.
Well, we move on to our Pro Shop drop, which is running a little dry post Augusta Masters limited merch. I think everyone takes a breather, maybe gears up for the PGA. So it's in a little bit of a dry spell of releases, but we did get a pretty interesting release that you said you have a little connection to back in your high school golf days. But TaylorMade is releasing a blackout series for their clubs, the Shadowfall collection. So all black, I'm pretty sure down to the shafts and the grips as well. Yeah, I think it's all blacked out. So what do you think of this collection?
I mean, I love it. I love like the sleek black kind of tech look. Having a full bag of that is a lot. And I think we would kind of give side eyes to the guy at the course who has them, but really cool design nonetheless. But yeah, this makes me think of high school when one of the iron sets that I wanted so bad was Cleveland Golf's Black Pearl irons. I think they were CG2s or something like that. Probably like the clubs that I wanted the most immediately once I got my custom fit set. Like those came out and I was like, oh dang, those look really cool. And I only knew one other kid who had them. And I remember him actually telling me, it was like, it's kind of distracting. He's like, I was so used to just staring at like a chrome wedge, and then to have just like a jet black wedge, something about it just is confusing to the eye. But nonetheless, I think it looks really, really cool, especially with the bag and the head covers. It's got like just a really nice look, especially the 3-wood, the like QI4 D 3-wood. It just looks really sleek. And then it looks like they have apparel and stuff that goes along with it. And the Spider Black putter, like really cool to put an entire bag together. I don't see
Could you
anybody
imagine
really.
showing up with the entire bag in an all-black fit?
That's what I mean. Like that would be hilarious. And I think you would get judged pretty hardcore if you were to do it though, you know?
Or
Yeah. I think it would look great in a garage.
yes, exactly. Or pieced together at certain times, but maybe not all together all at once.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, I can't hate on it too much. I have all blacked out wedges. My Vokies are all blacked out. I love the way they look, so I can't hate on it too much. All right. Well, we're in the part of our podcast where we do some games. This next game's called Okay, I'll Switch. It's where I will give you two things and you'll pick one, and I'll keep adding stuff to the other side until you switch. So this topic this week came from Full Swing, heavily based on the Ryder Cup. It was a singular line throughout the entire 4-episode season of Full Swing. We'll probably get into that later at a deeper dive, maybe next week, to get your thoughts. But heavy focus on the Ryder Cup in Full Swing. But we're going to play a game, Okay, I'll Switch, with you either attend the Ryder Cup or you attend the Zurich Classic. So which one are you choosing?
Probably going to attend the Ryder Cup on this one.
After we just talked up the Zurich Classic so much?
No, we did. And as much as I want to see Luke Clanton and Blades Brown, I still think I'd attend the Ryder Cup. Sorry, guys. But
yes.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Understood. All right. So I'm going to add to the Zurich Classic. You also get to attend the Solheim Cup, the women's Ryder Cup at Valhalla.
I mean, that would be awesome. And to sweeten the deal by having it at Valhalla would be super cool. But no, I think I will still take the Ryder Cup over those two.
Fair enough. Okay, I'm going to throw another one on top. The U.S. Open this year at Shinnecock.
Dang. That is a top U.S. Open venue. Gosh, no, it's not going to have the same energy as a Ryder Cup. You know what I mean? Like,
I've never attended a Ryder Cup, but it is definitely on my top list of things I want to attend. The environment just seems like unlike anything you can experience in golf, even top league.
Yeah. That and because of that, I'm going to have to pass that up.
All right, I'm going to sweeten the deal here. A really good one. Tour Championship at Eastlake.
You know, this may be controversial. I think it would be really cool to go, but I feel like I don't need to. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people have problems with the Tour Championship being at Eastlake every year. They're like, all right. You know, some people think they need to have a crooked stick or something else like that. I'm like, that would be cool too, but I don't know. It's cool, but it's not a top priority for me.
I get it. I initially moved this one moved Eastlake in front of this one for that exact reason. So now I'm going to get the deal's getting really sweet. PGA Championship at Pebble.
Dang. So at this point,
so you got Zurich Classic. I mean, you got Ryder Cup, Zurich Classic, Solheim Cup, U.S. Open, Tour Championship, and the PGA Championship
or the Ryder Cup.
That's
a lot. It's a
lot of great golf experiences.
Yeah, I have a feeling you have one more coming for me, but to be able to go to two majors and the Tour Championship and the Solheim Cup and the Zurich Classic, don't forget that. No, actually, I was about to say yes, but I'm going to switch to no. Yeah.
All right. You've made it very far, and I'm going to just drop the atomic bomb here.
Okay.
You're crazy if you don't take this one. The Open Championship at St. Andrews.
I think that is what I might have been holding out for. Yeah, I would choose all that in the Open Championship at St. Andrews. I just don't see how you could pick the Open Championship at St. Andrews over, or not pick that over the Ryder Cup, you know?
Sure, plus you get all these other experiences as well.
Yeah. I think, Open Championship at St. Andrews could be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You know, and you can go to the Ryder Cup every couple of years, but I believe it's only at St. Andrews every 6 years.
Yeah, very true. Such a good point.
That's why I would take Open Championship. Yeah.
So we're going to the Open Championship in 2027. That's your commitment right there. Okay, perfect.
That's the plan.
Okay, perfect. Whose family wives wouldn't want to go to Scotland? I mean, that's
exactly
crazy, right?
That's crazy.
To be during the Open Championship.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the plan.
Book it. All right, we got our next game. Which
so this one, I thought we'd do a blind ranking of golf's best duos. I feel like we've done something similar in the past, but since the Zurich Classic is this week and it's a team play, I thought we would blind rank 7 of golf's best duos and kind of see where they line up. All right. So the first one is Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas. Younger guys, have accomplished a lot. They're best friends in each other's weddings, things like that. Where do you put them? 1 out of 7.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have a little bias here because that is like one of the duos that I think of as my interest in golf was peaking and growing. And I think it's an iconic duo, childhood friends that become great partners in Ryder Cups. I mean, that just rarely ever happens, if at all. So it's special. I think it's gonna be my like kind of just above medium. So I'm gonna go 3.
Okay, 3. I think that's a good spot. And they are kind of representative of the current world of golf, like in, current duos. So I like that 3. All right, next one. We've brought this up before already. Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry.
I'm gonna have to go worse. I mean, man. No, I mean, it's another one that's best friends, great golfers, great pairing. Oh, man, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go 5 on just gut
5.
feeling. I'm gonna go 5.
I think that's a good spot for that
They
one.
probably deserve 4, but I'm going 5.
All right. Okay, so the next one. This isn't so much a duo, but in the way that they work together or the way that they competed together. But Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer.
Yeah. Yes. There is no golf royalty without those two names. And I'll go this. They were partners at the opening tee shot of the Masters, which is a good enough partnership for me. So I'll go 2.
I love that. I mean, just 2 of the best golfers going at it for so long. Like, yeah, it's hard not to rank them at the top. Okay, here's another one. Tiger Woods and Steve Williams.
Yeah. Ooh. That's by far my favorite caddy of Tiger's for sure. Stevie was instrumental in that stretch. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of what you're going to come with next, but it's Tiger and Stevie Williams, man. It's one.
Wow.
There's so many good stories between those two, but my favorite actually is that PGA at Pebble.
Oh,
where Stevie Williams only has 2 balls in the bag. And if Tiger hits one OB, he doesn't have a ball to give him. That's crazy.
And he didn't tell them till after the round.
I didn't tell him. No.
Yeah.
So
my God.
That is so good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's got to be 1.
I think that's a great one. It's timeless. All right. This other one is kind of interesting. And I actually didn't know this until looking into it. But Seve Ballesteros and Jose Maria Olazabal. Seems, at first glance, like, okay, what's going on? But these guys together earned 12 Ryder Cup points together, which is the record for any duo to score at combined Ryder Cups, which is just so impressive.
Yeah. Putting on for Spain. They are partners. They share a locker at Augusta. So they both have the same locker at Augusta.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I wish I had higher, but it's a 4 for sure. It's a 4. Those 2 are iconic.
Definitely. Okay, 2 more. You got 6 and 7 left. So
yes.
Yeah. Next one is Fred Couples and Davis Love III. Do you know much about them as a duo?
So I don't, but Davis Love III I know is one of the most underrated just ball striker, just gamesmen. And then Freddie still doing it today. I mean, God, he should have, minus a couple blowups on that first day, should have made the cut this year, in my opinion. So
yeah.
And Freddie still is around playing. Yeah. So anyways, but no, I don't know much about their partnership, I guess is.
So I didn't know too much about this either, but they're very close friends. They've been lifelong friends. They've practiced golf together for a very long time. They played in several World Cups of golf, several Ryder Cups and President's Cups together. The greatest legacy as a duo was their incredible run at the World Cup of Golf. They represent the only pair to win the event 4 consecutive times from 92 to 95, which is really awesome. And yes, they played in multiple Ryder Cups, 93 and 95, and their most famous victory came in 1993. But yeah, these guys have played together so much, which I honestly didn't know until reading about it a little more. Yeah, they're still tearing it up. It's awesome.
You know what? I don't know too much about their partnership. I'm glad to learn about it now, but I'm going to put some respect, give them as much as I can. I'm going to give them the 6th spot.
All right. I like it. So that leaves number 7 for Tommy Fleetwood and Francesco Molinari. Similar example of things I didn't totally know that they had accomplished, but they were the first to secure 4 points out of 4 in a single Ryder Cup, which is so impressive.
Yeah, that Paris Ryder Cup, they were so dominant. Oh my God. I remember, I think, God, they took down 2 of our bigs, like, the first day, and so I'm not surprised that they're 4 for 4. Um, yeah, but, it's okay. As far as iconic ones go, I'm happy with, like, a 6 or a 7, so 7th is good on that list, but yeah, those are
Yeah.
great. Those are great duos.
No, I think you did good. And there's just so much different history with all of these duos, which is super cool. And that's why I do think it's fun that we have an event like the Zurich Classic where guys get to team up. So pretty cool.
For sure. Nice. All right. Well, very topical game this week, and not so much of a game, more of do you know this? But with the Live Tour news of most likely shutting down at the end of the season, there's going to be a mad scramble to get back onto the PGA Tour for a lot of these players on Live. Now, a lot of them will probably not make it anytime soon. They are kind of some of the lower ranked golfers in the world. But for the people who are actively trying to get back, there are only a few ways to get back onto the PGA Tour if you do not have status anymore. And so, do you know the 6 ways in which a player can get from the Live Tour to the PGA Tour as of right now? And this is foregoing any, special exemptions that they've given out in the past that are no longer valid, that have expired, but the traditional 6 ways a Live Tour player can get to the PGA Tour.
Gotcha. I think I know all, if not most of them. But honestly, the one that's top of mind is because a lot of guys on Live did this the past few years, is that they would go play in DP World Tour events. And I think after a certain point, if you have enough points at the end of the DP World Tour, you would get a tour card, right?
Yes. So the top 10 in the DP World Tour automatically get a PGA Tour card at the end of their season. So once the DP World Tour ends for the season, the next PGA season, if you're in the top 10, you automatically get a card.
Okay. Which makes sense and probably a route that a lot of players are going to go. Okay. So next one, probably Q School. Just
Yes.
if you finish
Most traditional way. Yeah.
most traditional way, which honestly, this changed somewhat recently too. It used to be that you had to go through Corn Ferry to get to PGA. But now if you finish, is it top 5 or top 10, then you're automatically on the PGA Tour?
Yeah, it's a 4-stage route for Q School going from September to December. But if you finish in the top 5 of that, then you automatically get a tour card.
That's awesome. Okay. And so kind of in a similar vein, the other way is finishing on the Corn Ferry Tour top 25, I think, in points.
It's top 20 now. So they reduced it, and that's part of the recent changes. So it's top 20 in season points to get a PGA Tour card. And it's hard to do that. You have to consistently play good golf. You can't just win one tournament and say you actually need much more points than that. So you have to play pretty consistently and the whole season.
Yeah, makes sense. And that leads into the next one, which is Corn Ferry Tour. If you win 3 events in the same season, you get promoted immediately, I think.
Yes, that's probably technically the quickest possible way to do it. You could go pull a Patrick Reed and join, he did it on the DP, almost did 3 in a row. You could go to Corn Ferry, win 3 in a row. And, maybe some of those top Live guys, maybe a Joaquin Neiman on a, Corn Ferry Tour just dominates and can get it done really quick. But yes, if you win 3 times in one single season on Corn Ferry, you get an automatic card.
Makes sense. And I would argue that this next one might be the fastest way to get on tour is win a PGA Tour event, right?
Yes, technically
easier said than done.
Easier said than done. If you get a special exemption into a PGA Tour event and you win it, yeah, you automatically get a card, except the Zurich Classic.
Except Zurich Classic. But even there's some Monday qualifying spots nowadays still, right? Like there's some, not as many as there used to be, but theoretically.
I don't know. I think you might be suspended from doing that. I have to look at the rules, but I'm pretty sure like Patrick Reed has to wait it out. Like he can't just go.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Because there's some suspension rules in there as well.
Got it. Okay. Well, let's just say if a guy like me wanted to do it.
Yes.
And had unlimited funds and was really good at golf, that's how I would do it.
Perfect.
But, yeah. Okay. How many did I get?
You got almost all of them. I think you're just missing one, which is kind of one you already got. You got win as a non-member, but you could also technically get enough points even if you didn't win, if you made it through enough qualifiers, if you got enough exemptions to play yourself in, and you got enough points to qualify for the next season.
Awesome. I mean, those are reasonable ways to get a tour card if you're a professional golfer on LIV. If you say you're competing at the highest level and want to prove it, there you go. These 6 ways are how you do it.
What is Taylor Gooch going to pick?
I don't know. What do you think? What do you think he's going to do?
Okay, so if I'm a quality tour player on LIV, what one do I try to do? I think it's just suck it up and do Corn Ferry for a year. I think a lot of people will just, which is kind of cool. Like the Corn Ferry is now going to have a lot of injected talent, and it's going to be competitive. And I think the Q School one, like with only 5 spots, that's really tough. You're limiting your ability to get there. But if you're a quality player, you should be able to do it with one Corn Ferry tour, one season, take your lumps, get back on the next year. That's how I would do it.
I think then you also risk, the embarrassment of just crashing out on the Corn Ferry Tour.
But I think the DP World Tour is so competitive that I think even if you're a quality golfer, I don't know if you automatically just step into the top 10. I think you have a much better shot if you can be a top 20 in what I will say is a less competitive tour in the Corn Ferry.
Well, and this is also assuming that they make it to final qualifying in Q School, because that's how you get on the Corn Ferry Tour. So they have to at least do that too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how many members that is. I know, like I said, it's 4 rounds, and I think the last round is, I don't remember how many golfers it is, but it is.
But I think as long as you finish final qualifying, you at least get exempt status. Yeah.
Yes, on the Corn Ferry.
Cool.
Okay, well, good. Well, we'll see. It should be, like I said, it's going to be a really fun off season, or next season, to see what everyone does once LIV for sure shuts down. So
yeah.
All right, we're coming to our last game of the night. Pulling on the heartstrings of everyone who's a golf nerd and loves their clubs, we are going to draft the most beloved golf clubs of all time. Which golf clubs just make you say, yeah, I love that club? And there's some great ones to choose from, but we're going to draft 8 tonight. We're going to go snake draft. I will give you the honors to go first. Wow. And then we'll go back and forth.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to start out swinging with a Scottie Cameron Newport 2.
Definitely on my list, you bet. Definitely on my list. It's so iconic. Okay, good. I like it.
Sorry.
I can't fault it. Because you went putter, I'm going putter just to make sure I get this one in, because like I said, Scottie Cameron Newport 2 was definitely in there. I'm going to go Odyssey 2 ball. Odyssey 2 ball had to walk so that, your mallet putters could run. So we'll go Odyssey 2 ball.
I think that's great. And they're still making it, and they haven't changed it. And it's still an incredible putter.
Yeah. I get the next one. I'm going snake. All right. I will take my stab at the driver. Oh man, I'm going to, I know which one I should pick, but I'm actually not going to do it. I'm going to pick the TaylorMade R7. Probably more in line with what I love. I know what the conventional pick here is, but I'm going to go the R7 quad driver.
I mean, that was such a great driver. Like that to me was the beginning of the M2 Sim QI. Like, that's what started it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great pick. Going similar, I'm going to jump up a couple years. The TaylorMade Sim, the original Sim.
Not the Sim 2.
No. The original Sim was the first driver I bought like since high school. And which is funny because my older one was on the list, that Callaway Big Bertha, which is a great driver too. But the Sim, like I would still play it today, no problem. And I probably should.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I got my Scottie Cameron, I got my driver. The next one, we were talking about this earlier as well. I'm taking my Cleveland 588 wedge, which I still have, and I'm looking over at it in my old bag right now.
It was my only wedge on my list. It was my only wedge on my list. I didn't even put another wedge on my list. That's going to complicate things. Okay, incredible pick. I mean, iconic wedges. All right, back to me. Close this out here on my side. I feel like I gotta take an iron. I could go the modern day. Could go just gold standard. Yeah, I'm gonna go Titleist T100s. It's too good. I'm gonna go modern day classic Titleist T100s. I could have gone but then you could go the Tiger route and go the eyes. Oh man, Yeah, there's a lot of options here. This is tough. Speaking of Tiger, I'm just gonna be goofy to close this out. Don't hate on me. I think you know where I'm going. I'm going the Nike Sasquatch driver.
Oh my
Big
gosh.
yellow square club. It is just it what I will say is it screams modern golf urban culture, and I'm all about it. So I'm going
Yeah.
iconic, horrible club. I'm going Nike Sasquatch.
I can't believe they got him to play that. That was a real thing for a hot second.
Yes, it was.
Oh my god.
And
That's
everyone wanted
brilliant.
one. Everyone wanted one for
Oh,
a hot second.
everyone had it too. I feel like
Yeah,
every kid on my golf team had it for a while,
yeah,
and then it was the sumo,
yeah,
and it just oh man, just some great marketing, rough design. Okay, and I have one more to close it out, right?
yes.
I gotta go with the Ping irons. They're just, I feel like everybody on my team had those or the other kids growing up. And I was like, why does everyone have these? And it was like the best iron. That's why.
Yeah, yeah. No, 100%. You can tell that we're 90s kids for sure
Yeah.
by the way we pick these, but that is it's just it's a feel. Yeah, and I don't know. Basketball players pick Jordans, they would pick the ones that they grew up with. It's just how it
Yep.
is.
Yep. I know you tried to bait me with that Wilson 8802 putter on the list too, but I didn't go for it.
Believe it or not, it made the list on its own merit. So I didn't put it
Yeah.
I did not put it there. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, great. Those are iconic. God, we should do 20 of these because these bring back a feeling. But
We should go play around with these clubs. That
you
would
can
be
find them.
fun.
You can find them.
They're
Roger
out
Dunn.
there.
They're out there
Yeah.
for sure. eBay. They're out there. So maybe we'll have to do that.
Yeah.
Although you're playing with the Nike Sasquatch, I'm not playing with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, that's gonna do it for us. Thank you for joining, and see you next time.